Welcome back to another video, everyone, and today we're going to be playing our shaman some more in our dungeon guide leveling series with the Resto shaman. So in our last episode we finished up Deadmines, and we're going to move on to Wailing Caverns tonight. It's a fairly simple dungeon, kind of large, it's a little long. I mean, there's multiple bosses, I think 6 or 7. And there's a little cutscene at the end, or a little thing with some NPCs near the end that kind of drags it out a little bit more, but it's okay. It's probably one of my favorite dungeons in the game. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We unlocked Chain Hill as our last ability last night, which I'll give you a quick example of it. We'll read it off. It heals a friendly target and jumps to 2 most injured, but it's reduced by 30% each jump. So we'll use it on these guys here. I found 3 people kind of in a row that it'll work on. So yeah, this is the animation, and it'll hit him and then it'll jump to one of these 2. So we also get, you know, healing on 2 other people. So yeah, it's going to be very effective in dungeons. You know, healing multiple targets at once is, you know, you can't go wrong. So yeah, let's queue up. We're going to go back to our normal dungeon finder down here on your little micro menu, and we're going to go specific, and we're going to do Wailing Caverns. So let's go ahead and hit the queue and see how it goes. So I will see you when we get the queue. Alright, sounds like we got the queue. So yeah, I was enjoying the view here. So let's Wailing Caverns, no bosses defeated. Let's get in there, yeah? Alright, we can pick up our quest. Looks like we have a warrior tank. He's got full heirlooms too, so this is going to be a pretty quick run, hopefully. This can be a long dungeon. This is the final NPC you'll come back and talk to after you've killed all the bosses. So let's get up here and see how it goes. Go ahead and riptide the tank. He's got some mobs. Let's do some damage. We can. He's pulling more, and that's okay. So throw another riptide. Throw a gift on him as well, so we can try to do a little bit more damage. Looks like everybody else is doing okay. So this would be a good group. I'll be able to do a lot of damage in this group. So yeah, this would be a pretty good time. Normally a tank will pull around this corner, so you always just try to keep with them. This is kind of a decent pool, so we'll just do as much damage as we can while we can. Another thing is these raptors will let out a shriek calling for help, and it'll alert any other raptors in the area to come. So yeah, just pay attention to that. Sometimes you can pull more than intended. That seems like a decent group. Everybody's doing damage now, so that's good. Stay with our tank. You always take a left when you come down that main hallway. It would be pointless to go right. There's a boss right here that we need to kill. And she has a mob with her. This guy, he just casts. So we're going to wait for him to be full casting and then hit him with an interrupt, so he'll run over to the tank. We'll bring the tank back up. He's taking a lot of damage, so do what we can. Building the tank up. back to full. Try one of our chain heals, yeah? Looks like I'm gonna be the only one interrupting in this group. Which that's okay. Always try to interrupt if you can. I mean, you have your spell, you know? And if you keybound it to a button, it should be really easy to interrupt anytime it's on cooldown. Anytime you see their hand glowing, the enemy's hand glowing, then you know they're going to cast the spell. So let's try to help out with some damage, get this over with. We got no items, but that's okay. Anytime you finish this boss, you just jump off the ledge right here and head down. There's non-elite alligators down here. There's also a turtle that patrols. That's a boss turtle. So you'll obviously fight him before it's over. Use our ghost wolf to catch back up. So we'll try to keep up with the tank here. There's going to be snakes around this corner. Throw a dot, do a little bit of damage while the tank is busy. We don't need to heal at the moment. Pretty much waiting out the fights. Nothing major going on. Pretty simple. It's a fairly easy dungeon. A lot of casters, obviously. Try to put our dot on both of the targets. Pay attention to our tank. He seems to take a lot more damage than he should be. But, you know, it happens. There's another boss up here around the corner. Which is this guy.
Will crush you.
They drop pretty good leather armor for druids and rogues and trying to think of any other classes that can use it for leather. Monks. I think that's about it, really. Rogues and monks and druids. I mean, it's technically it's druid armor. It's even got the name druid of the fang armor, like druid of the fang legs or chest, whatever it may be. But they each boss drops a different piece, and then it's random also. Get that fight over with quick. It's going kind of slow when we get the bosses, but that's okay. Catch back up to the tank. There's non-elite snakes about halfway through when you're going through these caves. You can pull them all up to these two mobs. I'm trying to interrupt as much as possible. It's not easy sometimes because you could be in the middle of a hill, see a cast, and you have to decide, is it worth stopping the hill to interrupt the spell, or is it worth, you know, just going ahead and finishing the hill and taking the damage from whatever the spell may be. that's kind of a decision, situational. Yeah. It's like this guy that's way over here casting. We want to stop that. So he'll come over here. I don't know if we'll be able to. But we're going to try. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, we stopped his sleep, so that's good. We won't put anybody to sleep. We're going to throw a couple dots. Bring the tank back up. Keep up with the tank. Put a riptide on the tank. Put a dot on some of the mobs. It's pretty much a rotation throughout the game. Honestly, as a shaman. Until later, you know, later it's more technical things you gotta watch out for and things you gotta do. So we're just gonna stay with everybody and make sure the tank's at full health by the end of the fight. Just enjoy Wailing Caverns. It's one of the classic dungeons that, you know, everybody kind of knows about. Everybody's done it multiple times. It's taking a lot of damage, so we're gonna spam heal basically, just to try to bring him up. Get the rogue taken a little bit. So let's put a dot on one. See how the tank fares. Now there's no mob yet. So we're good. Tank's back to full HP, and we're moving on. Let's put a riptide on the tank, and our next boss is right here to the right. And then when you're done with that boss, you can jump down and run back the way you came. These bosses all kind of have the same phasing. They'll stand there and cast in the beginning. Then they might turn into a snake. He turns into like a snake and goes melee. You can interrupt most of his spells. So he's a pretty easy boss. It's, as they would say, a tank and spank, and that's pretty much it. You just stand there and heal or stand there in DPS. That's pretty much it. Let's see what he dropped. Alright, we got some pants that we don't need, but that's okay. Hey, that must be the new Druid of the Fang armor, because it's got a different name. Slither Scale Bracers. Breeches, sorry. But it's got the same stats as the Druid of the Fang set, which is increase intellect, haste, and intellect 2 more times. So I'm pretty sure it's the same item, they just renamed it. So we're gonna go down here, and you're running back the way you came, and you're gonna look for the turtle as you're going through here. He's kind of a mini boss, you know? He doesn't really do anything, he just kind of stands there. He drops a shield for warriors and a shield for paladins. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't see him. I know he's here, but I don't see him. So maybe he'll be around the corner here. Let's see if we can find him. His name is Kresh, I think. K-R-E-S-H. There he is, that guy. He's like a mini boss, basically. Pretty easy. You know, heal like normal. Put a dot on him like normal and try to do a little bit of DPS. Then we have another boss right here. Off to our right. He does a lightning bolt attack. Doesn't really do much damage, but it's pay attention to it because I don't think you can interrupt that. He'll run off when he gets to like 30% HP. He tries to run away, which is weird to me. Boss that runs away, but you know, they make it that way. So you can interrupt his cast, which is a chain lightning or chain bolt, whatever they want to call it. So that's good. We'll wait for him to cast it again, and then we'll try to interrupt it. I missed it that time. That's okay. He's gonna run off soon. Yeah, there he goes. He just kind of runs away, like, you know, leave me alone. Stop hitting me. Kind of like that. I don't understand it. I'm gonna keep moving forward. You're over halfway now. We have one hallway here that goes to the right, and then another one that goes to the left. And then you make a little jump. You're near the last two bosses. And then you have one more that has to be a phase. It's a giant murloc, kind of like Cookie from last night, but bigger, and he moves around. So yeah, we'll be there soon. Just gonna keep healing and keep doing damage. That's your goal. Stay with the group. He's going for a big pool, which is okay. I'm sure we can handle it. It's looking okay. We're gonna put another Riptide on him. We don't need a big heal yet. Put a dot on that mob that's going, and we're gonna get back up here with him. We're gonna go ahead and start casting a big heal, and followed by a Riptide. We're gonna bring him back up. Go to Ghost Wolf and try to stay behind him. Up here around the corner, there's some non-elite mobs that are pretty easy to kill. Oh, except for this guy. He's in patrol though. These little guys. Usually they're just here, not the other guy. But we got here fast, so. Some non-elites to the right, and then an elite caster to the left. We're gonna try to get up there and interrupt him whenever he starts casting. I don't think he's gonna get a chance to. Now there is a quest for Serpent Bloom in here. I usually don't get it until the end. I run around at the end of the dungeon and get it all. It's just what I prefer. You can get it as you go. It's on the ground like this. Sometimes it's up against the wall. You only need 5. Fairly easy to spot in most cases because it's going to be glowing as a quest item. We're just going to keep up with this warrior. He likes to move pretty quick, and I like that. We're going to look for any more Serpent Blooms that we might see laying around since we're nearing the end of the dungeon. But when you get up here, there's going to be a little waterfall and a little jump. You technically don't have to jump. It's just a habit people have. If you do fall down, you're going to fall where you fought the one boss down there. The scum, the little lizard that ran away. And you just have to make your way back up. So you know. We're going to catch back up. Made a pool. And this is a big pool in this room. I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple different heals on him. Try to dodge a few things. Maybe interrupt if we can. A little bit of casting. Even though I tab targeted the thing way over there, but that's okay. Now when you come up this hill, there's going to be your boss, your last druid boss to the right, and then your main last boss to the left. Well, not your last, your second to last. Looks like he pulled the boss as well, so we're going to get up there real quick and throw a hill down. Try to bring this guy back to us with an interrupt while he's casting. So he has to move within melee, so he stays in the group. If you can control as a healer where mobs are that you're fighting, and if you can get them all together, then you're doing a really good job. The worst thing a tank wants is to have, a mob over here and a mob over there and another one over here. It's impossible for them to tank effectively if everything's spread. But he's casting elite, and he didn't get the cast on. They're gonna finish up with, the DPS is gonna go ahead and finish up these guys. This guy was sapped the whole time. We have a rogue that crowd controlled him. We have, they're pretty much beating on him pretty good, so I don't really need to heal. I'll wait till it's over and then I'll throw that on. We're gonna dot the boss. We're gonna focus on the warrior. Throw another rejuvenate or a riptide on him. Then we're gonna do a little bit of damage if we can. Bring your tank up. It does not look like we're gonna level in here to get our next spell. And that's okay. I kind of thought we would, but I don't think we're going to. For some reason I don't have my XP bar, but that's okay. I'll have to figure out why I don't have my XP bar displayed. Fix that for the next one. Gonna bring everybody back up. And now when this boss is over, you jump down this little pit behind him. And you're gonna land down below in between where you fought, where you took that left and that right turn is where you're gonna come out at, under the bridge, basically, which is right here. Yeah, we're just gonna run down here. The tank is obviously, I'm assuming the tank teleported out and teleported back in the dungeon, which you can do. I'll have to show you that later, where you right click and you teleport out. And then when you get out, you right click and teleport back in, and you always end up at the entrance, which pays off later in higher level dungeons. But we're gonna run up here and we're gonna turn in our quest, and we're gonna talk to the NPC, and it's an escort. We're gonna escort him down and do the end. And Wailing Caverns will be done. Hey, we got some armor here we can upgrade to. Hey, look at those boots. I can go from blues. Yeah, that's definitely an upgrade. Wow. Let's put those on. Let's talk to this guy and turn in this quest. And we're still missing the serpent blooms. He goes through a little dialogue when you talk to him, and he runs off. Then we'll get down here at the bottom, and he's gonna do a little animation, and some mobs are gonna come out, and you gotta fight them. Some raptors, and you gotta fight the raptors, and then you move on to the next area where he kind of does the same thing. So he stands here and he tells you about, what happened here, and why the Druid of the Fang are here, and why the caverns are, plagued by the Druid of the Fang and stuff like, basically the story of what happened. If you're into the lore of the game. But that's also in your adventure guide when you bring up Wailing Caverns. It tells you, what happened here and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. You got a little story, and he's gonna come up here and do an animation where he's casting a spell to banish the spirits of the slain Thingol bosses. These snakes will appear and just fight them. It's pretty simple. back up near the end and get ready to move on. Now he's gonna run across this bridge. Now, before people would run through and go ahead and clear all this, but now you can do it at the end. But if your group isn't very well geared, I wouldn't wait till the end to do this, because he can die, the guy. And when he dies, that's pretty much the end of the escort. So, yeah, I'll let him die, basically. Do a dot on him as soon as we could. Cast on him. Throw a riptide on the tank. I think we got these guys over here got involved. These are a basic patrol. Never really seen them aggro from that far away. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. He ran. Oh, and he only stays. He'll only go as far as he has walked. So if he has only walked to this bridge, no matter how far he runs forward, he's going to turn around and run back to the bridge. And then walk forward. So if you ever see him just kind of run off like that, then that's normal. He's got issues. Might have brain worms. A mad cow disease, maybe. There he goes again. And here he comes back. And here's where he tells you where the little ritual place is, I guess you would call it. And he comes down here and he'll do a little cast some spells on this person, and it awakens them. During that time, there are mobs that'll come out of the water and attack you. Some of them are non-elite, some of them are elite. And then when she wakes up, Narlex is her name, or his? Is it a he? That would be a he. When he wakes up, they turn into birds and they fly away. Before then, a Murloc will come out that you'll have to fight, and the Murloc will fear you and fear people in your group. So just if you have not an interrupt, but like a cleanse. If someone gets feared, try to put the cleanse on them. And they can't really run into anything else in full form, so it's not really a big deal. These two mobs just die off. Bring our tank back up. After that phase, there's going to be another phase of the same thing. There's going to be stuff coming out of the water. These are all non-elites, so they die pretty easy. Nothing special about them. I mean, I can aggro one and fight one myself if I wanted to. Like that. These are just to kind of kill them. And then the next mob will be the Murloc. I don't remember his name. He's got a funny name. But he'll spawn right here and come up out of the water. He'll do a stun in the very beginning. So we're gonna dot him. We're gonna cast on him. A little bit of damage. Bring our tank up. And this will finish Wailing Caverns. We didn't unlock anything, and that's okay. We got it done. Bring our tank back up. We didn't get to use our chain heal that much this time either. So let's just use that near the end, yeah? Just to say we could use it. Just keep casting it. Looks like he's going down fairly quickly. He does have 15,000 HP. Pretty high for something this level. And that's it. You get your achievement. And the guy wakes up. The place is cleansed and everybody's happy. And they're gonna they're gonna fly out of here. Yeah, so let's see that happen, and then we'll loot the boss, and we'll teleport out. So there they go. Alright, they made a bear sound, but he turned into a bird. So, okay. Let's see if we get anything. Nope. We got some green items, but nothing special. Oh, we got some bracers. So we'll put those on. That's pretty much it for in here. Well, let's teleport out of here. There's really nothing to summarize. So I can summarize in here. That was pretty much all the Wailing Caverns. You start here in the beginning and you work your way down through raptors and you come out to a T. There's a couple raptors there also. You're going to take a left and fight the Lady Anacondra. As soon as you fight her, you're going to jump down and continue going west up through the snakes, and you're going to fight the Lord Pythos. And then you're going to kind of make a U-turn but not go back down. You're going to keep going up and around to Lord Corbran, I assume is his name. And that's where you jump down and you come back, fight Crash. You can fight Crash whenever you jump down initially too. If you see Crash, if you're here at the T and you see Crash there, just go ahead and fight him there. Get it over with, because that could be an item for someone that could be used throughout the entire dungeon instead of just at the end. Continue down the waterway till you get to Scum, the lizard that runs away from you because he's scared. And you're going to go up the ramps. You're going to come out by Lord Serpentis. And that's where you find the Verdant also, which is to your left, Serpentis to your right. As soon as you defeat him, you jump down, you land in this little pool. You come back to the beginning, do your dialogue with the guy standing at the beginning that we just did. Then you guys are going to escort him down to the Murloc, down to this room. Pretty simple, good dungeon. A lot of loot in here. You can find, you know, pretty much something for every class in this dungeon. Belts, that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a new belt or some new boots, which I did get a boot, and I was also hoping for the ring. Maybe I can do it again off camera, try to get some of these items that I wanted. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I think we're really close to our next level. We need 33%. We're at 66, so yeah, we won't get it anytime soon. Even if I went back and did the rest of the Serpent Bloom quest, I still wouldn't get it. So yeah, we're gonna end it there. But our next thing we're gonna get is gonna be Purify, which is finally we have a cure. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be in our next episode, and we'll move into, I think Shadowfang Keep will be next. Yeah, we'll go to Shadowfang, and then we're going to do Stormwind, and then we're going to do Black Fathom. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That's when we start unlocking some really good stuff. Fights get a little bit more critical, and healing becomes a little bit more focused. But for now, make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. This video was kind of thrown together at the end of the night, so hopefully it works out pretty good. But you guys have a good night.